Hello everyone, this is Revealing Light Tarot. I wanted to draw some cards on Rosenstein and whether or not Trump will, lash out and do something impulsive, impulsive at that moment and fire him. I hope not, because I think that while it might give him it would give him a short-term advantage, but in the long term, I think it would lead to his downfall. The thoughts that I have around this, as I start to shuffle the cards, is that something has really pushed Trump's buttons. I think he actually almost fired Rosenstein. I really do. I think he almost fired him in the last 48 hours, but he was talked out of it. It was quite a desperate situation. People scurrying, trying, because if he does fire him, then that adds to the Comey firing, the McCabe firing. It's a pattern of obstruction of obstructing justice. It's probably the linchpin in proving that the President of the United States was actively obstructing justice, but he nearly went there. That's what I'm getting. He may very well go there again, but for the moment it appears, well, I'm not even going to say that, because you never know with Trump, do you? So let's draw some cards. Will Trump fire Rosenstein? Let's have a look. Very serious thing for the US if he did. Okay. He's really, the impression I get is he's really, why can't I? He really wants him to go. He's really quite desperate at the moment. Really quite desperate. Yeah, and look, he knows more, I think, than, with all of his advisors, he knows more than what we actually think he does about the Mueller probe. Not that, that Mueller probe is airtight, but they've been strategizing. They have, information. He would know how close that probe is getting to him and his family. And the fact that, Mueller's talking to Cohen about Russia collusion. And the Russia collusion is what will threaten his children as well, Donald Trump Jr. and that meeting in the Russia Tower. So, yeah, he's quite desperate, Donald Trump, at the moment. So will he fire Rosenstein? Let's see. Okay, so the lovers, relationships. What's that telling us? That's okay. All right. To me, that is saying that there's a network of support for Trump that is almost, how he chants, lock her up, build the wall, build the wall. This is his position on Rosenstein is a little bit like that. It's a little bit like fire him. So it's almost like, in one way, he's playing to his base. If he fired him, he would please his base. This is like the conspiracy theories that he's been promoting, the lies he's been telling. In one way, it would please his base, and for Donald Trump's short-term gain is very important. But as I said, my feeling is that it would lead to his downfall. It would just strengthen the obstruction of justice allegations. And the Page of Pentacles is can often mean financial news or financial, information coming forward to do with finances. So this to me is what is motivating Donald Trump at the moment. Whatever the Cohen is talking to Mueller about, it is about the money. It is about the money that has changed hands. So what caused Trump to press the panic buttons is that Cohen was speaking to Mueller about the money that has been that was injected into Trump's campaign in 2016. The money that may have changed hands. I mean, this is yet to be proven. The money that may have been given. I mean, Cohen received money from various sources, including Russian sources. We never really knew, was that for Cohen, or was he the bagman taking it for other people? Look, this card is saying what's upset Trump is something to do with financial information or news that's coming forward to Mueller. In the past, it's suited Trump to say, fire him, let's get rid of him. This is. It suited him because it played to his base, his support, but it also played. He was building a narrative that if things got too close to him or his family, then he would then be able to proceed and fire Rosenstein. But he's pulled back on that. So the King of Cups is, I guess in this reading it is about understanding the motivations of others. So we asked, will he fire Rosenstein? In the future position, it's like if he did fire him, everyone would know why. Everyone would, it would be a step too far. People would understand his motivations. They would understand. They would understand why he's doing what he's doing, because this would come out. This financial news would come out. Look, why did he pull back? Because he definitely was going very close. Okay, he pulled back because, this is the Four of Swords. He retreated. I think, to formulate a new plan. Okay? So just giving his base what they desired and chanting fire him was not enough, because he realised, or he was advised, that it would be connected to this information that's coming out on the financial on finances that have changed hands with overseas interests, faraway interests. All right, the Emperor, of course, is about strategic planning in this sense. So he retreated. Well, I think this has got two meanings. In relation to the financial news, he retreated so that he could plan. Okay, there may be a better time to get rid of Rosenstein. This could also relate to the Mueller probe, that he is actually strategically planning ahead, and that this new financial information could very well be contributing to future indictments. And the High Priestess in the future position, here we have that people would understand why he did what he did, and it would not go well for him. It would be quite abundantly clear why he acted the way he did. And, these secrets would be revealed. So he definitely took a step because he was worried. He was worried that in firing him, it would be a direct link to obstruction of justice. Wow. And of course, with the midterms coming up, it would be precisely the thing that would initiate, if Democrats took the control, would be precisely the thing that would initiate impeachment for him. So he's actually, even though he's impulsive and he's angry and he wants to act, there is an element of desperation and fear in him as well now. And this is something that's been taken away from him. So whoever's advising him, around him, his advisors, the Republican Party, his strategists, his family, whoever said, do not fire Rosenstein, they've taken that decision, they've taken that reactivity away from him. And this is how Trump's feeling at the moment. He's pretty peeved off, and he's pretty... he's got his hands folded. How often do we see him like that? And he's pretty belligerent, and he's still saying, look, my instincts are right. I've always been right. I still think we should have fired him. And these are the battles, okay? These are the battles that are continually going on all the time behind the scenes. I mean, it's quite a bizarre situation, really, when you have the second top person at the Department of Justice being, being considered to be fired to free up an FBI, your law enforcement agency, an FBI probe into the president, and the president's wanting to fire the person at the Department of Justice who's overseeing this probe. It's like pretty unreal stuff, but nevertheless, it is the reality, and it is going on. So, in relation to battling this out, I think the Mueller probe, well, Mueller and his team will continue to push forward. I think that Rosenstein is actually sitting back. He may even be the emperor. There seems to be there's some strategic planning going on in relation to the potential for Rosenstein to be fired. But nevertheless, they're going to battle. They're going to battle this out. There's going to be, Republicans calling for him to be fired. There's going to be senators coming out and saying, I think this is all part of their longer term strategy, in that they will try and build the narrative that this is all a witch hunt, and try and erode the public confidence in the FBI and the Mueller probe and the Department of Justice, so that when things do come out, then they think that will be protect them. But of course, it won't. It won't protect them at all. And look, it's an illusion for them if they think that it will. The Seven of Cups, of course, is abuse and issues and lots of choices and illusions, not knowing what to choose. This is not going to work for them. The information is going to be so strong coming out that they really won't know what to do. At the end of the day, even if the firing does go ahead, it's just going to add weight to that obstruction of justice card. So, at this point in time, I don't think it feels like he's going to be fired, but we can ask directly. I think that they've decided to just keep on building this false narrative around the Mueller investigation, and Jeff Sessions and Rosenstein, and they're just going to keep doing that for the moment, even though the president's impulse was to fire him. Let's see. That would explain Sean Hannity almost appealing on air, don't fire him, don't fire Rosenstein. It's all pretty pathetic, isn't it? Okay, so what's the, just having a look at, will he be fired? I mean, anytime soon. Okay. Will he be fired anytime soon? Because we'll clarify this card where there's choice there. So it's, you know, while there's illusion there, there's also choice there. Trump still has a choice. Yeah, I know. Okay, the Page of Wands. This is very much considering, Trump is still considering his choices. And he's also, I think, waiting for new information to come out, which then would make his firing of Rosenstein less, I guess, less able to contribute to that charge of obstruction of justice. So he's still studying things. He's still learning. He's still not learning, but he's still waiting for some kind of piece in the puzzle, some kind of document, some kind of public mood, something. He's keeping his options open at the moment as to whether he will fire him. So that's what the cards are telling us. It's not clear cut. He hasn't fired him. He wanted to. He almost did. He was held back. He's peeved off that he was held back from doing it. It's to do with the financial news that possibly Cohen was giving to Mueller. It's something to do with that money changing hands, and secrets will be revealed in the future. People will understand in the future why he wanted to fire Rosenstein, why all of this has happened. But really there's still choices there at this point in time, and I think Trump is still very much considering his options and waiting for something new to come out, or some information, some piece in the puzzle. So yeah, that's where we are today with it. So he's holding off, but he is keeping his options open. Thank you.